Wow, look at that. Your arm is already starting to get much better. It is healing so quickly now, and you will be back to playing soon.
Would you be my son?
Yes, I will.
Excuse me, is the chief around today? Or maybe someone else who could help me with a quick question?
The rain fell heavily over the busy city streets. People hurried past without paying attention to the skinny teenage boy sitting under a broken bus shelter. His name was Musa. At just 16 years old, Musa had no parents, no home, and no relatives. His mother had died when he was very young, and his father passed away a few years later after a long illness. Since then, Musa has survived on the kindness of strangers. Some days, people gave him bread, some days, they gave him coins, and on a bad days, they gave him nothing. Yet, despite his poverty, Musa possessed a gift unlike anything anybody had ever seen. His hands could heal. No one knew where the gifts came from. Some said it was a blessing from God. Others believed it was a secret knowledge passed down from his ancestors. Whatever the source is, Musa had to do things that doctors could not explain. He knew the healing property of a rare herbs that grew deep in forests and along river banks. He could place his hands on his swollen joints and reduce the pain. He could help injured people recover faster. Most astonishingly of all, he had an extraordinary ability to treat broken bones. This healer spread quickly from village to village. People came to him with injuries: a farmer with a damaged shoulder, a child with a twisted ankle, an old woman suffering from years of pain. Many left feeling better. Still, Musa remained poor. He slept wherever he could find shelter and never charged money for helping others. One day, he often told himself, God will remember me. Little did he know that his life was about to change forever. Hundreds of miles away lived Chief Alexander Okafor, one of the richest men in the country. Alexander owned companies, hotels, farms, and real estate worth billions of dollars. He had everything money could buy: a beautiful wife, three wonderful children, luxury homes, private jets, expensive cars. People admired him wherever he went. But life can change in a single moment. One evening, Alexander was traveling with his family after attending a charity event. The weather was terrible. Heavy rain reduced visibility on the highway. Suddenly, a speedy truck lost control. The collision was devastating. The sound of twisting metal echoed through the night. Emergency responders rushed to the scene. When the wreckage was finally cleared, tragedy struck. Alexander's wife was gone. His children were gone. He was the only survivor. But he suffered terrible injuries. Both of his legs had been crushed. For months, Alexander fought to recover. He visited the best hospitals. The most experienced surgeons examined him. Specialists from different countries reviewed his case. Millions of dollars were spent, but nothing worked. The bones in both legs had been shattered beyond repair. After extensive evaluation, doctors believed nothing could be done. So the doctors delivered devastating news to Alexander. There is nothing more we can do for you, Chief Okafor. Alexander stared at them in disbelief. What do you mean? The surgeon lowered his head. The only remaining option we have right now, Chief Okafor, is amputation. That means we need to cut off your two legs. The room felt silent. Alexander felt as though his world has collapsed for the second time. First, he had lost his family. Now, he was about to lose his two legs. He returned home, broken in spirit and body. For weeks, he refused to see visitors. He would not eat. He rarely spoke to anybody. To him, life is no longer worth living. But one afternoon, an elderly gardener who worked on Alexander's estate approached him. He said to him, Sir, the old man said carefully, there is a boy I had heard about. Alexander looked up. A boy? Yes. The gardener nodded. He heals people. Alexander sighed. I've seen the best doctors in the world. I know, sir, but perhaps God walks through unexpected people. The old man's words lingered in Alexander's mind. Finally, having nothing left to lose, he agreed. Bring him. Go ahead and bring the young man. Let me see him. A week later, Musa arrived at the billionaire's mansion. The security guards laughed when they saw him. His clothes were torn. His sandals were worn out. His face looked tired from years of hardship. Some servants assumed he was a beggar, but when Alexander saw him, he noticed something unusual. The boy's eyes were calm and confident. What is your name? Alexander asked. Musa, sir. Can you really help me? Musa smiled softly. I can't promise anything, sir, but I can do my best. For the first time in months, Alexander felt a spark of hope. Musa examined the billionaire's legs carefully. He gently touched both of them. Then he closed his eyes. After a few moments, he nodded. The bones can heal, sir. Alexander nearly laughed. Every specialist in the world has said otherwise. Yet, somehow, Musa sounded certain. The next morning, Musa began treatment. He prepared a herbal mixture from plants he personally gathered. Every day, he massaged the damaged area. Every day, he applied healing herbs. Every day, he placed his hands on Alexander's legs and prayed. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Slowly, something remarkable began to happen. The pain decreased. The swelling gradually disappeared. Movement started returning to the legs. New scans revealed bone growth that seemed impossible. Alexander continued improving. Soon he could stand. Then he took a step, then another. Before long, he was walking without assistance. The medical ward was stunned. Experts who had recommended amputation could not explain what had happened, but Alexander knew. The homeless boy had given him his life back. One evening, Alexander invited Musa to sit beside him in the mansion's garden. The sun was setting. Birds sang in the distance. Alexander looked at the boy who had changed everything for him. Musa, he said quietly. Musa responded, Yes, sir. You saved me, young man. Musa smiled. No, sir, I did not save you. God saved you. I only helped. Alexander's eyes filled with tears. For months, I believed my life was over. He paused. I lost my wife, my children, my happiness. At some point, I even thought about killing myself. I felt like life was not worth living. The billionaire looked towards the sky. I thought I had nobody left. Musa remained silent. Then Alexander turned towards him. And then God sent you. He sent you into my life to help me, to give me hope again. The boy lowered his head respectfully. Alexander reached into his pocket and removed a document. I want to ask you something. What is it, sir? Alexander smiled warmly. I want to adopt you. I want you to be my son. Musa froze. What? What? I have no family left. Tears formed in Alexander's eyes. You have no family either. The billionaire's voice trembled. From today, I don't want you sleeping on the streets anymore. I don't want you begging for food. I don't want you wondering where you belong. Musa's eyes filled with tears. Alexander continued, I want you to be my son. For several moments, Musa could not speak. The words felt unreal. Nobody had ever chosen him. Nobody had ever called him family. Finally, tears rolled down his face. Are you serious? Alexander stood up and embraced him. For the first time in a long time. I I am. Musa broke down crying. So I have a father now. So you are my father. Thank God. Alexander smiled. And I have a son. The adoption became official a few months later. News spread across the nation. People were impressed by the incredible story. The homeless orphan with healing hands, the billionaire who found hope again. Together, they created hospitals, orphanages, and healing centers. Musa used his gifts to help thousands of people. Alexander used his wealth to support those who could not afford treatment. Years later, whenever people asked Alexander about the greatest investment he ever made, he always gave the same answer. It was not a company, It wasn't real estate. It wasn't the stock market. He would smile and point to Musa. The greatest blessing of my life was adopting my son. And Musa would smile back, knowing that the day he thought he had nothing was actually the day God was preparing to give him everything. Moral of the story: never judge someone by their appearance. A person sleeping on the street today may carry a gift capable of changing the world tomorrow. Sometimes the family we lose is replaced by the family we never expected to find. Please give this story a thumbs up, subscribe for more stories. God bless you.